right, and welcome to the Planet X podcast. We've been MIA for about a month now. Just been a crazy summer and really have had a lot going on. So now that it's going to be officially fall in a couple days, I think we're back on track here, and hopefully we'll keep you entertained. But we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for topics tonight.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why we've been slacking off was nothing was really catching our interest. There was no big movie thing. There was no giant announcement that for something coming up. Maybe part of it is that they've been announcing these films 2 and 3 years in advance now. So we kind of shoot our load talking about, what's coming out.
Yeah, prime example, Batman Superman. We've been talking about that movie on this podcast and on our old podcast for 2 years. And then it kind of came out and we kind of went, all right, Batman Superman, yay. And that was it.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, that was okay.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Yay.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the summer's kind of gone movie-wise in general, I think. It was kind of I don't think it was really a great summer for movies. We had a lot come out, but I think just a lot didn't do as well as expected. Superman tanked because it didn't tank by any stretch of the imagination. Suicide Squad did okay. Captain America did well, but I'm almost starting to feel like we might be starting to hit that, and I know we've talked about it. We might be starting to hit a little bit of that superhero burnout too.
Well, it's also burnout, but then you're kind of the other thing is because now every 3 weeks there's a superhero movie. Your dollar is you got to decide if you're going to go and see. People have to make the choice. And they're like, I'll wait for that one. There were a lot of options of other things to do. That's why all these movie theaters are rebuilding themselves now and putting in seating to get people to come back out to the movies. But the ticket prices have gone up hand in hand with that. So if you're going to go, and especially if you're going to go with a family, it's getting, it's still expensive to go to the movies.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for, I don't know about by you or, the theaters you go to, but, for me out here in Pennsylvania, to go to a movie just straight up, no 3D, no IMAX, none of it, is like $12-13.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the average, I think. That's, depending, sometimes if it's an IMAX, it's a little bit more, $16, $18. And I'll drop that for the right type of movie. But even the 3D thing, a good solid action movie, a big comic book movie, I'll pay to go see it in 3D.
Yeah. But even that, kind of for me at least, the 3D is it's kind of worn off a little bit for me. Like there were like certain movies come out, I'm like, oh, I got to see this in 3D. I got to see this in IMAX. And now it's just like, all right, I want to go see a movie. All right, yeah, I'll just go see it on a regular screen, regular definition. Don't need 3D.
Yeah, I think if you're watching a movie that has grand scope to it, the 3D is important. Something Guardians of the Galaxy, the like Thor, where you had Asgard and you had these giant creatures, and I think the 3D lends itself a lot to the computer animated characters in a live action film. But some of the stuff you watch it in 3D and you're like Batman, Superman, I'm like, I could watch this regular and I'd be okay. And even Captain America to a point, it all took place in the big giant action scene was at an airport.
Yeah.
And it was a cool action scene, but it was also, the dialogue, the characters each kind of got to have their high spot, and it kept moving along. I think it's just kind of the state of movies.
Yeah.
And maybe the next big step in technology is gonna get people back in, but it's the things that made money this year are the animated kids films, because that's going to get somebody with a whole family to go see it.
Yeah. Especially, you get a rainy weekend and you don't know what to do with the kids. You're going to go to the movies. You're going to go see Finding Dory or, whatever else was out there. I can't remember, Secret Life of Pets or whatever.
Those types of films are selling, like in our case, like a Superman, Batman, or Captain America or Star Trek. You go, and if it's me and my wife, if it's you and your wife, it's 2 tickets per household. Something like Finding Dory or Secret Life of Pets, it's 3, it's 4, it's 6.
Yeah.
Depending on how many kids and how many parents there are, or it starts to add up. My parents took my niece and nephew to see Finding Dory, so there's 4 people out at a theater, and my mom and dad would never, on their own, go out and spend money to go see Finding Dory.
Yeah, yeah.
So stuff like that, and I think the studios know that. The studios pay people to figure this with super big-time fancy college degrees, and they make 800 times as much money as we do to tell the studios this stuff. So they're going to keep making those type of animated movies, and it's smart to make a good animated movie. The Disney ones have been solid. I've heard. I want to see this stop motion animation. This 2 strings. It's a Japanese name. Kubo and the 2 strings.
Yeah, yeah.
Or something. And it's. I just saw a YouTube clip. I didn't realize this. I thought it was a computer animated thing. It's actual stop motion animation that they made. That they created all the pieces.
Oh.
Because I've heard, from what I've seen, I'm like, it looks beautiful. And I heard it's a good story. So, and that's kind of exactly what you want out of a movie. And it's the art. There's a lot of art. There's a good story. I'm interested in checking it out. And I almost feel like just give it the best animated picture Oscar right now.
Yeah.
The Oscars are tired of giving it to a Pixar movie. They really want to give it to somebody else.
It's like, what else is there? There's, Pixar. It's been Pixar and DreamWorks for the past 20 years.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And they, even this past year, they nominated. There was that weird R-rated animation that
I know we talked about it, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I can't think of that. I know, yeah. Anomalia.
Yeah.
Anomalia. It was the writer-director does all those quirky things. He wrote Being John Malkovich, and he wrote Adaptation, and Charlie Kaufman. So he does these weird things, and that was definitely weird. And that's one of the fun things about animation is you can make something a little weird and a little different. And I'm glad that they're doing that they're keeping it interesting and not just kind of... I mean, some people are just doing some cookie-cutter bullshit animation. You get a Cars 2, or you get a Minions movie, or you get something that's...
Ice Age 19.
Those stupid Ice Age movies just keep making money.
Oh, they do. Eventually, though, the Ice Age has to be over.
Dennis Leary says they just keep writing him a big goddamn check to play that tiger.
Absolutely.
Playing that tiger.
Shit, man. If Steve wrote me a big check to play Nate forever, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
But as it stands, Steve, don't write me a check.
And the thing is, there's always going to be new 8-year-olds. So
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that was like, in prior to that, it was like, and this is really like dating ourselves, is those stupid Land Before Time movies, which were the dinosaur movie prior to Ice Age, that they made 39 of those or something like that.
Well, they made it. That was one of those early, like direct to video, type of animations, and those things did real well. It was a nice niche that they discovered and ran with. That's one of those things that studios looked at, that movies like that make money and do well, and kids are going to go see them. And if you make it good enough, people will go see it in the theater, and then they're going to buy the DVD or the Blu-ray or whatever, and those kids are going to watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, and this is kind of another thing kind of that may have tied into maybe even a little bit, and this is kind of what a little bit ties into a little bit of what we were talking about prior to coming on the air, just kind of talking about stuff we've been watching, is I think there are just so many other options now too, where, on a rainy Saturday in the summer, there used to not be much to do. It's like, okay, I can go, let me go to the movies. And now you can sit home and you can, you've got Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime and Crackle and all this other stuff that you can just find something to pass your day with.
I have all that stuff, and I have hundreds of DVDs that I haven't watched yet. Things I've bought, things I've won, things people have given me, things, that I've seen before that I would like to watch again, things I've never seen before, series. I can fill a ton of time watching. I have all my things I'm watching when I'm doing busy work. I watch Netflix on my iPad when I'm doing my laundry. When I'm cooking dinner, I'm watching old TV series on the DVD player in my kitchen. When I'm doing something else, I'm watching. When I'm around the house, I have. I watch things on YouTube that I can't find anywhere else.
That's what I do, and I mean, a couple weeks back, I had a weekend to myself, and I was like, all right, I can go do this, and I ended up just kind of sitting around drinking beer and just grab DVDs that I hadn't watched in years off my DVD rack and just throwing them in a DVD player and watching that all weekend. So I think when I'm around, I think that might tie into what can kind of be considered a little bit of a weak summer.
And the other thing that happens when when I'm with my niece and nephew, and they're like, oh, we want to watch something, and occasionally I have something new that they want to watch, one of the superhero movies or Star Wars movie or something along those lines. But other times I'll be like, all right, guys, we're going to watch an old movie. And I'll pull something out and they watch it. And so, you have that option. There's a lot of people our age now that they can go out to movies with their kids, or they can sit home and we're going to watch Goonies, or we're going to watch Labyrinth or Neverending Story, or we're going to watch Short Circuit, or we're going to watch these dumb things that I liked when I was a kid that you're going to like too. I know I have a friend who has a little kid who is obsessed with Thundercats.
And that's a good thing.
Because his father bought him a DVD set of Thundercats, and the kid loves Thundercats.
Who doesn't love Thundercats?
Exactly. Mumra. Mumra does not like Thundercats.
True. But, nobody asked him. But yeah, I mean, that's, we were kind of talking about some of the stuff we kind of started binge watching, and it's not even that we're binge watching new stuff.
I've been watching
binge watching
older stuff. 1974.
They just announced, or they announced that they're doing. I'm a big Highlander fan. They just announced that they're doing a 30th anniversary kind of convention get together in Florida in December. So I kind of sat down and started watching the series from the beginning.
Yeah, and that stuff that's fun. I can watch. There are some series that I just pop back in, and I'm going to watch this all the time. One of those things that I just got, I found it online. I want to say Target or somebody had it. It was on sale. It was the complete Cheers series on DVD.
Okay.
Now, I've rewatched Cheers on Netflix within the past few years. I watched every episode. But now I'm like, all right, maybe one day, in a couple more years, I might want to watch some Cheers again. But then I'm at DVD, I have special features.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a blooper reel, maybe there's deleted scenes, maybe there's commentary. It just gives me, more Cheers that I kind of discovered. I'm also playing catch-up. Since they moved the Supergirl series from CBS to CW, and I watched the other CW DC comic shows, the Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and The Flash, I've enjoyed. And we didn't get into Supergirl because I'm like, all right, it's not set in that same world. I'm not going to drag myself into something. And then they decided to cross it over anyway. They're like, it's a different dimension. But they're going to interact, the characters. So then I started thinking maybe we should watch it. And then when they announced that they were moving it, I'm like, okay, let's definitely watch it. So me and my wife have been watching last year's Supergirl, and it's done well. It's a good superhero TV show. It would almost make a good Superman show. It touches on enough things. It has enough characters for if you're a comic book fan, you're going to be like, oh, that's cool that they have him there. Oh, that's cool that they have him there. But it's not too deep that you're like, mentioned Superman, they mentioned Perry White, they mentioned Kal-El. Boss is Cat Grant. So if you're a Superman fan, you kind of know Cat Grant was one of the other reporters at the Daily Bugle. She was the gossip reporter at the Daily Planet, not the Daily Bugle.
Planet. Daily Bugle, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I forget. One of them major metropolitan newspapers that deals with superheroes. And then they hired James Olsen, Jimmy Olsen, who's grown up a little bit now, is there, comes to work for Cat Grant. So you have a couple of characters like that you're like, okay, here are characters I know. And then they start doing things like, they'll say a character's name, and I'm like, I kind of know that character. Why do I know that character? Okay, I'll sometimes I recognize it, sometimes I got to look it up on YouTube. When there's a Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs or something like that tries to keep an eye on the aliens. And it's run by Hank Henshaw.
Okay.
And I'm like, Hank Henshaw? And it took me a second, and I paused it, and I'm like, Hank Henshaw is Cyborg Superman.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right. So this is kind of a major villain. Hank Henshaw be part of this world. And then they start to allude that Hank Henshaw has some kind of secret powers. I'm like, all right. So I guess he's got his cyborg powers, and he's wearing a fake face or something like that. And the big reveal, spoiler alert if you're catching up, Hank Henshaw is not Hank Henshaw. He is John Jones.
Ooh. That's a nice little...
You get, and the way it's broken down, he's not Martian Manhunter every episode. He's Hank Henshaw. He does some Martian Manhunter things here or there. Occasionally he becomes Martian Manhunter and helps out Supergirl for something, but he's staying and hiding. And he kind of gives the speech of Supergirl and Superman look like humans and they're going to be more accepted as opposed to this alien that looks like a monster.
Yeah.
But I never understood that rationale for an alien who could make himself look like anything. So why wouldn't he just make himself look like Casper Van Dien and, save the world? Because everybody hates Casper Van Dien.
I don't know about that.
I'm just taking a cheap shot at Casper Van Dien. Leave me alone.
He follows me on Twitter.
That's one of the reasons why I mentioned it. Because you and Casper Van Diem are buddies.
I have like some of the weirdest kind of celebrity followers on Twitter. I have Casper Van Diem. I have Chris Barron of the Spin Doctors, who just like I wasn't even following him. He followed me, so I felt obligated to follow Chris Barron back. I like the Spin Doctors.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
Jersey guy,
yeah, But and then there was one I got, and this is completely off topic, but it was in the why do I know this guy? Oh my God, why is he following me on Twitter? Thing was Scott Farkas.
Scott Farkas,
the
Yellow
Christmas
eyes.
Story.
Yes,
from Christmas Story, and later on in life, the Titus Show.
The Titus Show, and then he'd show up in things. He's in one of the Resident Evils. He shows up as things as an adult. Yes,
he was in one of the Transformers movies. I think he was in the first Transformers movie. He just followed me kind of randomly. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I never tweet, so
yeah. Oh, there you go.
But hey,
I think it's just for tweeting is just for being angry at people.
Yeah.
But I do got to say, I've been enjoying the Supergirl thing, but the other, and I'm looking at some of the new shows that are coming out this season. A MacGyver remake,
which kind of, I had kind of heard that they were doing that, and then last night realized that they were actually doing it because I started binge watching MacGyver on Amazon yesterday, because I have no life. But yeah, that's like why do we need MacGyver? Was perfectly fine the way it was, and it looks like they've only shot maybe 5 episodes, so I think they're not expecting much out of it.
Yeah, well, I think they want to see if it catches on because I could see it being an expensive show.
Yeah.
If you blow a lot, MacGyver always blew a lot of stuff up. So I guess if you're gonna get involved in that type of TV, you're not gonna put all your eggs in one basket right away. I guess.
Yeah.
Spread it out a little. The other remake, I guess you'd call it, is the Lethal Weapon TV show.
Yeah, I've been seeing commercials for that. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it.
I'm interested. I like Damon Wayans.
I do too, and I mean that's kind of where I'm at. Where it's like I'm kind of interested to see where it's going to go and how it's going to work. It could be fun. I hope it does well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's funny that Damon Wayans is in there in Lethal Weapon when he did one of the Lethal Weapon ripoffs of the '90s with Last Boy Scout.
Yes.
Or Die Hard 9, however you want to.
Yeah.
Those old Bruce Willis movies were all just Die Hard.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the rest of the new TV, there's not a ton that I'm interested in. I know there's a new X-Men type of show that Fox is doing, but none of the X-Men are going to be on it.
Yeah, Legion.
It happens in that world. Yeah, Legion, yes.
Legion. Well, Legion is like Xavier's son or something like that, but it's not.
Yes.
It's not going to have. You're not going to see Hugh Jackman or Halle Berry or any of them in the show.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm going to watch the shows I'm going to watch. I'm picking up Supergirl as a new show. Maybe I'll check out Lethal Weapon, but it's almost like I'm choosing a new Netflix show to start watching. I might actually finish when Persons of Interest came on. I watched the first 6 episodes of Persons of Interest and really liked the show, but decided I was watching too much TV. I was watching too many hour-long dramas, and one of them had to go. So I cut that one. But then when it went to Netflix, I put it on my list as, all right, this is something I'll eventually get back around to.
Yeah.
Because I really want one day when they do get to have like Batman on the Flash and stuff like that, I want Jim Caviezel to play Batman.
Okay. I'm down for that.
That's my hope. My hope amongst hopes of in that world.
Could happen.
It might, Rabbit. It might. I know you kind of went off the grid with television, so there's probably not an awful lot that you're looking forward to. You're living in that movie streaming type of world now.
Yeah, I just kind of got tired of getting destroyed with my cable bill and not really watching anything. I wasn't really watching anything new. I mean, I was sitting, I would sit down after work and I'd watch 5 hours of Cops. Granted, in the next couple weeks, I'm probably going to look into revisiting that a little bit, being that Walking Dead is coming back. Walking Dead is coming back and hockey is coming back, so that's kind of.
Oh, there you go.
I'm starting to get a little bit like, I kind of need my cable back. But for the summer, I mean, we kind of cut it out. We kept the internet, and so I can stream stuff. And a lot of the stuff I was watching, series wise, was on Hulu anyway. So it's like I can catch it the next day. That's kind of what I've been doing with stuff like Raw and SmackDown. I've been catching it the next day on Hulu. And with that, it's nice because they cut it to Raw, which is a 3-hour show. They cut down to like an hour and a half.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't have to sit through I don't have to sit through 45 minutes of Stephanie talking.
Yes, BS and advertising.
Yeah.
I find myself sometimes, if I start messing around on YouTube, I can find podcast clips or, interview segments or something like that. Sometimes I just get caught up. I'll watch something stupid for, I found a compilation of the 80s television commercials.
I watched those all the time.
And it was like the commercials that used to play during Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, and that's something that I'll be, cleaning around the house or whatever. I'll put something like that on where it's playing in the background, and I'll be like, oh my God, I remember that. I had that. Oh my God, that was Mike's and my dog ate it.
The one of the YouTube things that I kind of discovered, I don't remember if I discovered it through Facebook first, and then I know they talked about it on Tosh. They wound up having her on Tosh. Is that Dr. Pimple Popper woman?
I'm not familiar with her, no.
She is a dermatologist of some sort. A hot chick, like a hot Asian chick who's a dermatologist.
Okay.
Who puts these videos of blackhead removals and cyst removals and stuff.
Yeah, I'll skip it. Thanks.
Where she anesthetizes somebody and then squeezes 14 ounces of pus out of them.
Yeah, I'll be skipping that. Thanks.
Or a big nasty 3/4 inch thick blackhead, taking it out of them. It was one of those things where I found it and I'm like, I can't stop watching this.
I can totally stop watching that. I'm not going to start watching that.
And that's one of those things that people she was talking about it and she's like, oh yeah, people find it very cathartic and it calms them and it helps relax them to watch it. And it is kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
But I can see it not being for everybody.
No, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Not going to do it.
I don't eat cannolis, but it's one of those things that you would never eat a cannoli again after you watch it.
Yeah.
She's squeezing some fat guy's back like a rolled tube of toothpaste.
Oh,
All
Jesus
stuff is coming out of it.
Christ, dude, stop.
I'm just gonna keep going because I think I can get you to puke.
You might get me to puke. You're not that far off.
I can tell when you're close. That's why I kept going. I took a shot at it. I pulled it out of the dark, and I was like, I might be able to get Chris with this. Let me see how far I can go. But that's again that's how far your entertainment dollar can take you now. That you can dermatological surgeries, dermatologists. You don't watch skin doctors fuck around with people.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's almost like it streamlines some of the comedy stuff too. You know, where you can catch somebody's monologue, or you catch a good bit from Kimmel, or you catch a good bit from Fallon.
Which is that's kind of how we've been watching Fallon over the summer, as we've been catching his bits in sections. You know, it's not we don't have to sit through the whole show to get to, what's in the box.
Yeah.
We can just sit and watch that 5-minute clip of.
And also, I found, I'm finding a lot of young filmmakers just kind of doing little skit type of things, little, like a sketch comedy show routine, but they just have the one bit.
Yeah.
That stuff pops up, and that's fun to. Things like Funny or Die and College Humor, and then some of the lesser known ones too, where you get up and coming people. I've been enjoying it.
And
one of the things
speaking of Funny or Die, one of the things I watched recently, and it might have been that weekend I had to myself, was I watched The Art of the Deal, which is the
Funny or Die
the Donald
Trump
movie with Johnny Depp as Donald Trump. And it was
I heard a lot of good things about this.
It was pretty damn funny. Especially when, with the kid that's in the movie, they keep replacing him. Because he's ethnic. Yeah, that's
funny.
It was funny. It was funny. Scary but funny.
Yes. One of the things I'm working on for us for the future, and I talked a little bit about this to you, and it was kind of a phenomenon of me going through some of my DVDs and watching things on YouTube, and it's like a one season wonders type of thing, like shows that only lasted one season that I've been thinking about for 20 years or 30 years or more than that. Stuff I watched when I was a kid, stuff I watched, I'm like, this should have caught on. And I wanted us to do a series of those. I see it being, a couple of small segments as opposed to like one episode where we can kind of focus on something for 15, 20 minutes, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And move on to something else. Because I've been enjoying going back to that and watching these shows, and I'm like, if this came out 10 years later, it would have been a huge hit. Or you see some of the actors, and you're like, oh, wow, there's huge names in this. And it just didn't catch on.
Yeah.
Or just to see people like, when they were young, and they're like, I'm going to be in this piece of crap because I need a job. Because some of them are just crap that I look at through the rose-colored glasses of my childhood.
Yeah. Things that, we think were great, and then we go back and watch them and go, ooh, this wasn't so good. Kind of like that He-Man cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, poor He-Man.
That cartoon did not hold up well at all. At all. You know, G.I. Joe, the Transformers, that held up. That He-Man cartoon did not hold up.
Yeah, but it had to break down the barrier. He-Man was that first. He was the first one to be an action figure and a toy line and a cartoon
Yeah.
when they changed the law. Some 35 years ago. It was just the anniversary the other day. I think it was just the anniversary of the premiere of He-Man.
Yeah.
33
We've had
or 35 years.
couple of those in the past week or so. It's been
there's been a bunch because of it's the time. It's premiere weeks for a lot of the new. It's the new fall lineup. So a lot of things are, it's the anniversary of this. Oh, it's the anniversary of that.
And speaking of classic TV and binge watching, have you watched any of the Voltron cartoon on Netflix?
I haven't yet.
I'm a couple episodes in on that. It's fun. It does a good job. It does a good job with it.
I'm going to have to look into it. That's one of those that and Stranger Things are the two big Netflix things that I've been hearing about that I have not watched yet. And Stranger Things is one of those things that everybody is like, everybody I've talked to like, I've loved it. It's great. You'll love it. Go watch it.
Yeah, that's.
So I got to play catch up with that.
About just kind of like I'll watch it later.
Yeah.
You know, I saw Will like a weekend or so ago, and he's like, "Oh my God, have you watched Stranger Things yet?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't watched Stranger Things yet." "Oh, you need to watch it." And I'm like, I'll. You know, I mean, one of the kids that's in the show is from the area that I'm from. He's down from he's from down in Ocean County or Atlantic County, one of the two counties down there. But yeah, that's one of those shows like everybody. I haven't heard anything bad about it, but I'm almost with it. I've heard so much good about it that there's no way it can be that good.
I know.
I need to give it I need to let the hype kind of.
Yeah, let it die down a little bit, and then enjoy it at your leisure.
Yeah, but even on Netflix, like we've got some, Luke Cage is starting up in the next couple weeks, so that'll be something I'll have to check out. Granted, I still haven't finished Jessica Jones, because that's my other thing. Like I'll start binge watching something, and then I'll binge watch for like 3 days, and then I'll never go back to it. I'll get sucked into something else. I need to kind of focus myself a little more. It couldn't be.
Yeah, you got to stay on point
with
some of it. Yeah.
I have no focus.
Well, let's focus. let's focus on finishing our binge watching, and let's focus on making sure we're back for a weekly show.
Yeah, that is and that was gonna be something I was gonna say. Is like my focus has been so off lately. It's like it's kind of been like, all right, it's Monday. Okay, we should do a show tonight, and the next thing I know, it's Tuesday.
Yeah. But I don't know about you. I'm good for wrapping up this episode.
Yeah, it's been we've kind of.
I think we just needed to knock the dust off of it today.
Yeah.
Get ourselves back into the swing of things. Get ourselves back into the habit, and come back strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
A team.
Go Channel Z. Woo. Yay.
Woo.
You know it. All right, so we'll wrap up. You know where to find us. We're at channelz.wordpress.com. We're on Facebook at the Channel Z Podcasts. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. So we'll see you. We promise. We'll see you next week. I'm Chris.
And I'm Mike.
And binge watch something, will you?
Good night. and good luck.